Welcome to our channel. In the vast tapestry of history, where the stories of rising and falling societies intertwine, an ancient record tells the tales of a powerful and regal people. As the sun sets over Africa's expansive savannas, stories emerge. Stories of mighty kings and beautiful queens with dark, rich skin. The Bible, one of the most enduring books of all time, holds within its pages the secrets of these ancient narratives. Embark on an immersive cinematic expedition through time as we reveal narratives that may have been overlooked by many, but remain indelibly inscribed in the sands of Africa. But before we dive into today's content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. We have a lot of exciting content coming your way. So let's begin this incredible journey and unlock the history of our Black and African ancestors. According to the Bible, all people today are descendants of Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This includes black individuals and those with dark skin, whose lineage can be traced back to Ham, one of Noah's sons. Shem and Japheth were Ham's brothers. Shem represents the Semitic peoples, including Arabs, Jews, and Syrians, while Japheth represents the Europeans and Asians. The Bible specifically identifies Ham as the progenitor of African and black people. His name is consistently associated with Africa, and in the book of Psalms, he is linked to the ancient Egyptians. Many ancient Jewish traditions and other sources also attribute African ancestry to Ham. The name Ham itself holds deep meaning. It translates to burned or dark in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages, which directly references the color of his hair and skin. If we look at Genesis chapter 10, verses 6 to 14, we see Ham's family tree, also known as the Hamitic people. His children include Cush, who became the father of many African peoples, and Mizraim, who was the father of the ancient Egyptians. African peoples, and Mizraim, who was the father of the ancient Egyptians. You may have heard the name Mizraim before. This is because Arabs, Jews, and Syrians all refer to Egypt as Mizraim, a name given by its founder. Ham's other sons were Put, also known as Phut, and Canaan, the father of the Canaanites. Canaan refers to both a specific land and a group of people. Ham's first son, Cush, gave rise to various countries and ethnic groups, including the Ethiopians. In fact, the people of Nubia, once known as the Kingdom of Cush, share the same origin as the Ethiopians. These are significant countries with deep histories, all tracing their lineage back to Cush. Even more fascinating, people from Samaria, believed to be descended from Nimrod, Cush's disobedient son, are thought to have originated from Old Babylon. Additionally, many populations from South India and different parts of Africa, including Malians, Eritreans, Kenyans, Congolese, and the Fang people of Gabon, are considered to have Cushite heritage. In the biblical context, the term Cush is often associated with Ethiopia, Sudan, and Africa in general, meaning black in its original language. Likewise, Mizraim is believed to be the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians and many North African groups, including the Tuaregs and Berbers. Even today, Semitic people, such as the Arameans, Arabs, and Israelites, continue to refer to Egypt as Mizraim. Psalm 78:51 tells us that God struck the firstborn in Egypt, describing them as the first fruits of manhood in the tents of Ham. This connection to Egypt is significant. Another son of Ham, Put, was born after Mizraim. The name Put means landmark, and is associated with African clan hunters. He is considered the ancestor of the Black Libyans and several other African peoples. Now, let's talk about one of the most misunderstood biblical narratives, the so-called Curse of Ham. Some have twisted the story in Genesis 9 to wrongly suggest that all African people were cursed. But that is not what the Bible says. Here's what actually happened. The Bible tells us that after the flood, Noah became intoxicated. Ham saw his father in a compromised state, and instead of assisting him, he mocked him in front of his brothers. This led Noah to place a curse not on Ham himself, but on Ham's son, Canaan. During that time, respect for one's father was considered sacred, so Ham's actions were a serious offense. However, it's crucial to understand that this curse was specific to Canaan and his descendants, not all of Ham's lineage. In other words, African people were not cursed, and any interpretation that suggests otherwise is a grave misunderstanding of the text. Ham and his other sons, Cush, Mizraim, and Put, were never cursed. Instead, they became the ancestors of great African and Black civilizations. The Bible's genealogical records clearly link them to the ancient peoples of Africa, including the Egyptians, Ethiopians, and many others. While the Bible provides an ancient perspective on human history, it is important to also consider findings from archaeology, linguistics, genetics, and oral traditions. These disciplines help paint a fuller picture of African origins, migrations, and cultural developments. As we continue to learn more about the past, it's important to engage in open discussions and research. Understanding biblical history helps us uncover the richness of African heritage rather than relying on misinterpretations that distort historical facts. Ham's legacy is an essential part of Africa's story. According to ancient texts, Ham lived a remarkably long life, possibly over 600 years. Some believe he was buried in Ethiopia or Nubia, while others suggest Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians lived. The prevailing belief is that his tomb is somewhere in Africa, possibly in Sudan or Egypt, where ongoing archaeological discoveries continue to reveal the secrets of ancient history. The Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish manuscript considered authoritative in the time of Christ, provides even more details about Ham's lineage. It describes an interesting dispute. Ham was displeased when his youngest son, Canaan, chose to settle in Shem's land, now known as Israel. Ham and his other sons, Cush and Mizraim, did not support Canaan's decision. They believed that Africa was meant for Ham's descendants, while Shem's land should remain with Shem's descendants. But despite their objections, Canaan stayed in the land, defying his father and brothers. The Book of Jubilees also tells us that Ham was the first person to establish a city and a region after the flood. He named it Male Talak in honor of his beloved wife. These ancient texts provide a fascinating insight into history, but it's important to interpret them carefully and within their historical and cultural context. The Bible is a complex and multifaceted document, and misinterpretations have led to harmful beliefs over the centuries. As we uncover the truth, we must ensure that we do not unjustly associate curses with entire groups of people. Instead, we should celebrate the rich heritage of African and Black civilizations as recorded in biblical history. Thank you for watching. We hope you've gained valuable insights from today's discussion. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay tuned for more episodes where we explore critical topics in biblical history. Until we meet again.